talk about demand. Demand is important to our economy. Why? Because without demand, we don't know how much prices, how much supply, how much quantity is going to be demanded. We don't know anything because we have to, everything works together. If we don't have the demand, then there's no need for the supply. So we have to be able to work everything together. Demand is how much a consumer is willing to purchase a good or service based on the varying prices and time. This just means like if around Christmas time, you know how everything gets more expensive? Like all the Christmas sweater, the Christmas attire, everything is like more expensive when you can buy the same thing 2 months from then for $3. Something that was worth $15 is now worth $3. It just really depends on the time, on what the price is. Because there's going to be a higher demand during Christmas for Christmas attire, Christmas things, everything Christmas. It's going to be more expensive. But in July, when you get April, everything gets a lot lower. You know, there's not a big demand for it, so there's a lot lower prices for it. So that's just what this means. It has varying prices and time. Demand is a relationship between quantity demanded and the price. This just means that quantity demanded and price work together. You can't have the price without having the quantity demanded because you wouldn't know how much to charge the price. Have the price at. Because if you didn't have the price, then you wouldn't have how much it would be demanded. So it's a relationship. It works all together. You wouldn't want to have just one without the other because it wouldn't work. You have to use them together. Demand is an inverse relationship, which means as the price of a good or service falls, its quantity demanded increases. So price goes down, quantity demanded goes up. As the price of a good or service increases, then its quantity demanded will decrease. So price goes up, quantity goes down. You wouldn't have something really expensive have a high demand because if you had a $15 basketball sitting there, there's going to be a very low demand for a $15 basketball. If you had a $3 basketball, there's going to be a lot larger demand for that basketball because it's the lower price. So the lower the price, at being $3, you're going to have more demand. If you have a $15 basketball, then you're going to have a low demand and a high price. It just works that way. You wouldn't have a low price and a low demand because everybody's going to want a lower price. No one's going to want a higher price. So that's just how that works. It just works together. When we move on to the next slide, you'll see that there's a demand schedule and a demand curve, which is just a table of data about anything. You can have it. I have it about lettuce. We have at our high school we sell lettuce for FFA, and so I'll use that. And so we have how much price and demand works together. So here you see we have the price of $1. At $1, the quantity demanded for for heads of lettuce would be 40. So 40 people want lettuce at the price of $1. Well, when you raise that price to $1.50, you're going to have a lower demand. You're not going to have 40 people wanting lettuce for $1.50. If you have the lower prices, then you're going to have a higher demand. So as you move down this table, you see as we increase the price, then as we increase the price, so all the prices are increased, then the demand is going to get lower. Because you're not going to want something, a head of lettuce, the same value here as it is here, but it's just more expensive here because there's less supply of it, there's something going on that's harder to get, it's just something of that sort. Something's going on to make this higher. So there's going to be a lower demand for it. Well, the demand curve is this table's data right here, put on a graph to show you the relationship between the price and the quantity demanded. So all we have to do to figure out the demand curve is write down your prices. So let's see, we have $1. $1 here. We have $1.50, $2, $3. All your information put down. And so that's the price. We have the price wrote down. Then you need to write down how much was demanded. So we're going to start out at 8. Then 30, and then 16, and 24, and 32, and 40. Write down 24 instead of 32. And then you have 40. So then what you would do is you would find at 8, we have at $3, there's only 8 people that really wanted it. So you would go up to 3 and over. Here's where you would start. Then at 16, there was a few, if the price was lower, so then you would go up to 2 and over. Lower the price at 24. At 24, $2, you'd have more people because you lower the price. At $1.50, 32, and then at 40. The lowest price you can go for a cut of lettuce, $1. You're going to have all kinds of people wanting this lettuce at $1 because it's cheaper. So this is just the basic concept. So once you get all your points plotted, you just erase these little lines here where they intersect. Then you just simply draw your line, which is kind of hard on this smartboard, but you try to get it as straight as you can, but you can see the relationship. And the lower the price, the more people's going to want it. So you can see how it will continue on. It's just going to, at 41, there's going to be a little lower price, there's going to be more people wanting to buy it. And that's just basically demand. So the lower the price, the more demand, the higher the price, the less demand there is. So thank you.